Are y'all ready? It's time. Woo! Good evening, everybody. This is Mama Sue Roseberry, and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. It's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. I hope y'all had a great day today. Did y'all barbecue? Y'all put it in the chat. Who barbecued and did not invite me? But did you barbecue? Did you just hang out and have some relaxation and some rest? Because guess what? If you work every day, you're just glad to have another day that you didn't have to go punch a time clock. So we are excited about being here tonight. And guess what? It's already September, y'all. Can y'all believe it? It's September already. Oh my gosh. The year is flying by. And we're already into an Indian summer. We've got beautiful weather today in Midland, America. So it's good to see all of you all that are on joining with us. I'm so excited that you're here. Listen, if it's your first time being with us, we hope that you will put your name in the chat and let us know that it's your first time, because I like to communicate with those first-time visitors and welcome you to be a part of Mama Sue's family so that we can connect with you over time, because you already know connecting with you is the best part of my day. And the whole point of Moments with Mama Sue is so that I can introduce some wonderful people I know to some other wonderful people that I know. So welcome everybody. We're excited about your being here. And our first time guest, once you put that in the chat, I'll reach out to you when this is over, because I go back through and I read every comment. I try to respond to everybody who tuned in, and I especially like those first-time visitors. So I will send you a little something from me just to let you know how glad I am that you joined with me and were part of our segment on tonight. For those of you who are listening with us and tuning in real time, we're glad you're here, but I'm even happy and excited about those who will tune in later for replay, because it all counts. I appreciate you being here. And listen, Moments with Mama Sue would not be a party if it wasn't for you. I want to tell you a few things. First of all, you know I have new music. So He's a Great God is available on all digital platforms. You can download it today. The handy QR code is on your screen, or you can go to whatever your digital music provider is, whether it's iTunes, Amazon, Google, whatever it is, and just look for Sue Roseberry. He's a great God, and you can download it. And I know you're streaming it too, which is cool, but listen, downloading and streaming works wonders. So we hope that you'll do both, that you'll download $1.29 worth of Mama Sue and put it in your personal library and enjoy it every day during your morning workout or whatever you have going on. And you can be proclaiming that he's a great God. Tell everybody. And those of you that are streaming, listen, I want to thank you because I got a notification from Spotify that I had 1,771 listeners. Woo! That was during the month of August. And look what they said. That's an increase of 5,434%. I didn't know it could be such a thing. So that's really good. So thank you to all of you who are streaming it and listening to He's a Great God, because he truly is. And for all of you that want to know, yes, Miss Annie is ready to come where you are for your children. That's my children's book. It's a rhythmic musical story, and I would be glad to send it to you. The way to get it is to go to my website at www.sueroseberry.com, place your order from my merchandise page, and Miss Annie will be on her way to your young people. And with every order, you get the downloadable audio files, so you can have me singing the story about Miss Annie, or you can even sing along and have your own version with your children. But it is a wonderful book. It's written in both English and Spanish, so it's an opportunity for your children to be introduced to rhyming patterns and even another language. So we hope that you will order that today and let Miss Annie be part of your children's lives. For everybody that's watching on Moments with Mama Sue, I got to say a shout out to the WJIL Today family. Listen, Moments with Mama Sue is on the WJIL Gospel Radio, Roku, and Fire Stick TV stations every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And it shows 3 times a day at 3 o'clock a.m. because somewhere in the world somebody is up. So it shows at 3 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to tune in, you can go to WJIL.today, or you can look for it on your Roku and Fire Stick TV menus and see it on your television screen. How many of you believe God is up to something? If you believe that, put that in the chat. I believe that he's up to something. And then I want you to remember that there is Thoughts from the Heart. That's the daily thoughts and inspirational quotes straight from my heart to yours. In fact, let's read what our quote is for today. For September the 5th, it says, I may not say it, oh, but you can't keep me from thinking it. That's the thought for today. But there are quotes for every single day of the year. It's a perpetual devotional, and I believe you'll enjoy it, and you'll have a little bit of Mama Sue for every day. I call them Mama Sue-isms. Now, there's lots going on in our community, and I want to make you aware of a few of those things. First of all, that we have a youth storytelling workshop and contest coming up in October. And right now is the time that you need to be signing up your children. If you have youth ages 6 to 18, we have 3 age categories, and we work with the youth so that they can work on their confidence, their presentation skills, speaking in front of a crowd, in front of an audience, all of those things, but it's completely free. It's free for your children, but our spaces are limited. So if you'd like them to be involved, use that QR code or go to our Facebook or website and look up how you can sign up your children. Or you can contact me. I'd be glad to work with you and tell you more about it and how they can be involved, because it is the best thing ever. And those children will get an opportunity to be broadcast live on Basin PBS, sharing their stories. And then on tomorrow, I want y'all to come on and roll with me, because I'll be at the Southeast Senior Center on Indiana Street in Midland, America tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. And for those of you that cannot join us in person, y'all get on your smartphones and devices and go to my Facebook page at Mama Sue Roseberry around 10:30-ish, and we'll be on there singing and lifting praises. I've seen so many of you joining us, and that absolutely thrills us so much to see you join us. And then tomorrow evening, Thursday evening, I'll be in the clubhouse. Let Me Hear Your Song Room on the Headphones Clubhouse, where I'll serve as a moderator for independent artists who are sharing new music. If you've got a song and you'd like it to be premiered in that room, hit me up and I'll show you how you can have your music shared on Let Me Hear Your Song. And while I'm talking about that clubhouse, y'all, something new is coming to the clubhouse. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something Sue. I'm going to be coming to Clubhouse with Moments with Mama Sue, straight out of Clubhouse. It's going to happen on Thursday nights, beginning September the 15th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moments with Mama Sue, the Clubhouse edition. So it's going to be a little bit different vibe. You'll get to meet some other remarkable people and interact on that app. So if you're not already signed up for Clubhouse, y'all get signed up. You can be a part of it even if you don't have an iPhone. Okay? Everybody can join, even if you have an Android phone. We don't discriminate. You can be part of Clubhouse, and it's a wonderful platform to get to know a lot of things. My last church announcement, God, it seemed like I had a whole lot of announcements tonight, but the last one is to tell you that Midland, our city, our stories, is going to premiere on this Thursday evening, September the 8th at 7 o'clock p.m. on Basin PBS. Guys, please mark your calendars. Set your alerts and your alarms on your phones so that you can watch it. It is going to be phenomenal. We have historians from our community. Pictured, you see Miss Emma Threet. She is telling her story of how she came to Midland, Texas back in the day. We have other historians that are sharing their stories, and it is remarkable, talking about the diversity of our community. And it is, of course, underwritten by the Abel Hanger Foundation. But I had a lot to do with this as an executive producer for this docu-series, and I am so proud of it. And I believe you will be too. You will learn more about your community perhaps than you ever knew, from some people who have lived through the times past and brought us forward to today, and it's going to be exceptional. So please plan to tune in. Now then, since I have finished with all of those announcements, I'm going to put up this little segue, and then we're going to introduce you to our special guest for tonight. Stay tuned. Advertise with us and let Mama Sue's family know what you've got going on. Email us at msroscbe2 at gmail.com. Oh, yeah. All right. We want you to advertise with us because we have an audience, we have a platform, and we'd love to tell the world about what you're doing. So contact us about how you can be advertised on Moments with Mama Sue. My guests tonight are no stranger to the Midland community because they grew up here. They are proud young residents of our community, and each of them have their own signature style. But the wonderful thing is, they are brothers. They are blood brothers, biological brothers, and they have started something new and exciting for our community. I'm going to bring them to the screen and we're going to chat more about what their latest venture is. It is Edward Mayberry and Ben Mayberry Brothers. Welcome to Moments with Mama Sue.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. And Ben just grinning. You just nod your head. You just letting everything.
Amen. Amen.
He said, Amen. He took us to church. Well, listen, you guys have been longtime residents of Midland. You grew up here. Tell us a little bit about your background, Edward, y'all's background here in the Midland community.
Great. Sure. Well, first, thank you, Miss Sue, for having us on. It's an honor to hang out with someone who has so much influence, not just domestic, but just really global. So we thank you for just inviting us to the table and to have this moment to talk to you.
Absolutely.
So a little bit about us. So we grew up on the southeast side of Midland, and our father passed away when we were young, and my mom and my cousins, and she was left raising kind of by herself for the majority of our life, our childhood. And we had typical struggles. Of course, our mom kept us in line. I think Ben has a record for any kids on how many whoopings he got growing up, but she really kept us in line, and we just individually we got involved in some other things. I got involved in sports personally. Went and played college basketball at Lubbock Christian. Um, Came back and started a church and a whole bunch of other things. But we credit a lot of our success from our childhood to the job that our mom did, just raising us, and then the community that was behind us. They really supported us during those tough times. And so our success goes in our whatever we are today really goes back to the people in our community, from our pastors to coaches to just leaders of our community who really played a part in our upbringing.
Absolutely. I agree.
Well, moreover, you guys have been instrumental in doing so many things. Now, Ben, you have been a community favorite for a long time because Ben has been over some steppers and he has done lots of things. What was your first inkling that you were interested in funerals? Because when he was a little boy, y'all, being around, Ben would say, I likes a good funeral. I said, Ben, how could but he wasn't saying it in a facetious way that he just was, a grim reaper, but there was something in you that gravitated toward the funeral home business and what was being done. Talk about that a little bit, if you will.
Absolutely. As Pastor Ed was saying, from childhood, we were honored to live around the corner from one of the, Mr. Bill Thomas. And so we were always over there for whatever reason. But during the passing of our father, he allowed us to come in to the funeral home. And I remember me and my brother, and we were just, it was, we were in awe about everything. We were so curious about things like, wow, like his eyes are closed. And, he kind of let us really get that experience with our loved one. And I know that right now people would think that it's weird and crazy to have their child hang around the funeral homes and, and just really examining, a deceased loved one. However, for us, I think that was like a ignite about for, I guess, many years. From that moment, I remember it just sparked something in us to say, all right, from there, everything became a funeral. From the ants on the ground, we did funerals for them. He was the preacher. I would sing. We would have a little home going, wrap them up in some foil. I made the best caskets. I hold the record for casket making out of tin foil. And yeah, so neighbors' dogs, and we did the homegoings for them. And of course, just going to everyone's, with my mom being We didn't know the people. We just were part of this celebratory life. And of course, in our culture of how we experience funerals and what they represent was just really, really heart heartfelt and just there was just something about it that gave us joy and gave us peace to be able to have that time with our loved ones. And so I think from that just triggered off something in us to be able to work, just I guess research into that more. And to this day, that's why I mean, I love what I do and serving the people most importantly. And I guess really just all of that stuff. And I love it. I love a good film. I love a good homegoing, but I love to serve. That's what it's about. And so having that time with them.
Now,
And so,
y'all were doing this as little boys. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, that would have been spooky. See, they would have been scared. Oh, I would have been scared because I was grown when I first got where I wasn't running from being around a corpse or someone who had passed away. But there is a level of ministry
yes.
that's involved when you are dealing with people when they are grieving. So, what is the message that you want to convey to grieving individuals to help them to uh, be at peace with what has happened,
Yeah.
with tragedy in their lives?
Yeah, our story being shared it, but this funeral business was really birthed from a place of pain for us, and we shared this in our ribbon cutting. But it was birthed from a place of pain, right? And it was the loss of our father that this vision kind of was conceived, right? And it was birthed years later, but it was conceived at the time that we lost our father, and we just can't really remember the pain that went with that, and just the tears and just we were just lost at that moment. And um, when we were able to go to the funeral home and just be there, we kind of both kind of gathered that peace where we were like, man, we can do this with him. We can make sure that he has a nice burial and a nice home going and things like that. And so now we really want to be able to use our passion that really ultimately came from passion first. And so we want to be able to tell the world and tell the families that we will eventually service that sometimes purpose is produced after pain, right? And so we want to be with you guys through this painful moment, and to encourage you that there's still purpose, that there's still healing, and that there's still an opportunity for us to pour into those families like we had so many pour into us. And so when people come into our funeral home, we want them to have that same kind of peace that we had, knowing that they have people who's going to do life with them, who's going to help them through this tough time, and who's also going to be able to minister to them and say, man, there's still purpose. There's still healing behind all this hurt, and we can do it with them. So that's the biggest takeaway from this funeral home is that we get to do life with people. We understand we've been in that situation before, and we also want to be able to provide that peace to those families who would come in.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Yes.
good. Now listen, I'm looking at your banner that's behind you. Who came up with the logo design? Mayberry Funeral Home. They got a little wing up over one side. Who
Yes.
came up with that?
Well, it was actually so Jessica Rule, SHK Advertising. Yes, we good friends. We had talked, and we didn't really want it named after us from the start. We are like, no, we don't want it to be like the Mayberry Show. So let's do Restwood Memorial, and so that was an R with the wing. And so I told her once, after just praying and after our mentors, they're like, no, you name it, you be proud, let's go. So I asked Jessica, hey Jess, I know we've already created another something, but could you keep that wing and then tag it on maybe with the M possibly? And she was like, oh, great, here we go. And I was like, can you have it ready by tomorrow? And so she worked it right out, and so we're grateful. And so that's how the logo came about, and she worked it. So yeah, so that wing was an arm, and then it just
Yeah.
worked on the end. So, yeah.
Well, that looks really good. And then your tagline or your motto is more than a funeral home. Now, what does that mean? to you all? What do more than a funeral home mean?
Absolutely. So grateful that you asked. Well, since being the charismatic, somewhat person that I am, I mean, I love to uh, do things just beyond belief. And so if you try to challenge us to say, okay, can you do this? Let's put this with that. And my brothers had to humble me a lot of times because sometimes I'm like, oh, let's do this. Let's have people hang in here, this, do this. But with that being said, having being able to provide these services to the utmost, whether it be during the time of the loss, after the time of the loss, for sure, connecting, networking, building those relationships in community, and healing is what it's all about. Because a lot of times we see that, after the funeral, after the services are provided, the interment takes place, and then that's a done deal. And we have been, so like you said, our passion is just way too strong for that because we weren't called just to do the bare minimum. And so we love to go above and beyond. We're more than a funeral home. If you want to come and hang out with us on any ordinary day, watch TV, sit by the fireplace, we want you to truly be able to come and do that and be at home and be at peace and not making it a weird place to be or a weird thing to do here. So,
Yeah, and what's kind of funny, but it's going into our ultimate plan is the facility that we're located in. There's a lot of people that just hang out around, and from time to time, man, people will just stop by and just come in. During the whole renovation, they'll just come in and kind of take a look, and that's kind of what we want this to be, a place where even if you are not bearing a loved one, that you can just come in and just kind of hang out and just feel the love and the peace that we offer here. So that's what the kind of motto tags with it. We really want it to be more than a place where there's tears but there's also a place of hope, peace, joy, just friendship. It's for our community, for our city.
That is amazing. Now, speaking about the city, y'all, they had a soft launch, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment and what that meant because, of course, they're not open officially yet, but we're going to hear a little bit more about what the brothers are doing and then what their role is going to be in our community going forward. So, y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Miss Annie from way down south. She's loud, she's fun, but you'd better watch out. Put on your seatbelt and take the rollicking ride with the unpredictable Miss Annie as she whips and turns and drives straight into your heart. Own it today at www.sueroseberry.com. If you're just tuning in with us, tonight's guests are Edward Mayberry and Ben Mayberry, the Mayberry Brothers, who have just recently opened a beautiful new facility, a funeral home, Mayberry Funeral Home in Midland, Texas. And it is right in the heart of our downtown area. And we're going to bring the brothers back to the screen because we definitely want to know about this soft launch. There were lots and lots of people. I came and I was thinking, oh, let me get there. I'll go about 10 minutes till. When I got there, there were so many people. How did it make you feel to see your community turn out in support of your business?
Good, yeah, good question. So that whole ribbon cutting, man, we really thought long and hard about that. How we want to do it. What to feel, what we wanted to feel like. Who we wanted to invite, and we really went from this big grand list. I think the Chamber of Commerce was on it, and it was a big list. And finally, we got to the place where we said, you know what, we wanted this moment to be real intimate, to be a time where just family, friends, just local supporters who can just come and just have an opportunity to take a tour of the facility. And so, and that's just what it was. I mean, all those people who came, we we had some kind of connection with them. They were family, friends, close loved ones, supporters. It was just that, and so that couldn't have worked out better. And so we thank all of those who came out to support. It's just what the vision was for that ribbon cutting. to be an intimate moment where we can just kind of allow our family, friends, community supporters, loved ones to be the first to walk through the building and be able to see what the plan and vision is to serve families here in Midland.
And spectators
And
for those who
spectators.
were, for those who, because there were some of those. Amen. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Of course. But listen, the facility is absolutely beautiful. And you all have lots of things. One of the facets of the soft launch was to show us kind of a view of how things have changed. And you all were going through the renovation process because that used to be the municipal court facility in Midland.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it was greatly transformed, and it's a beautiful facility. Of course, there's lots that has to be done yet, and in fact, tell us about what has to take place before it will officially be opened.
Yes. And as you said, yes, there have been some major renovations, but the courthouse was such also, it was an amazing setup without even knowing it. You know, hey, let's convert courthouse into a chapel. Let's make this into a lobby waiting area. So, and when we first talked about it and met with the seller, and they're like, wait, what? And it was just unheard of. And we posted a sticky note outside the front door that said, future home of Mayberry Funeral Home. And I stuck it there. And I said, we'll put on it and we'll return back. And after 3 days later, hey, we got a call back. No, but what else is left? So, of course, that was the ribbon cutting. And that's leading up to the grand opening. So, of course, we're not open. We're not receiving any loved ones at this time, nor sending out any loved ones. As soon as the funeral commission comes in, does their final inspection, and we'll finalize everything there, and then we will be officially open, and we will let everyone know that happens. It's coming.
Yeah. And listen, uh, I was walking through and I saw that there is going to be a place where there's a resident pastor will be associated with the funeral home to assist people during, I guess, bereavement or if they have needs. Talk about what that vision focus is like. What is that?
Well, a lot of times loved ones maybe didn't go to a church or belong to a church, and so it's always kind of last minute. People are scrambling around for a pastor to come in and kind of provide that support, and so we really thought it'd be important to have somebody in house other than myself that could be available for families, not just to help with the eulogy, but also to help during those times to just cancel or just talk to them and just to be that support that they need and to offer Christ to them. And so having somebody here most of the time to be able to provide that kind of service, we thought was valuable. It provides that peace to families that don't have to scramble around during the time that they're mourning to try to find someone, and it also relieves the burden off of pastors who would love to do services and love to be there to support, but just there's time schedules just don't allow. So it takes that pressure off of pastors, and to have somebody here doing that is valuable for our families that we serve.
That is terrific because I think that a lot of people never have been church. They don't have a church background or a church experience, but there's still closure
Yes.
that's necessary as part of the grieving process. And there are, in my opinion, my humble opinion, there ought to be a celebration of the fact that you lived, some
Yes.
kind of celebration.
Sure.
Somebody ought to celebrate that you were
Yes.
alive. And so I think that your business, while at times there are tears, but it is certainly a triumphant thing to remember a person's life and their legacy once they have gone on. Now, the residents of our community are loving that you brothers are doing so many wonderful things. We're so proud of you. What are some ways that they can support the efforts that you all are doing, because we know takes a little money, takes a little money to be able to do everything that you're doing. So can you talk about the fundraiser that you all have going on for your business?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. We again, community is everything to us, and serving our community. And this is not we don't take that lightly. We don't just, oh, we're here to serve our community in any way, in every way. And so we are doing our tree fundraiser. So if you would like a tree that will have the consist of your name on that tree plaque, and you can come by here. We're going to have benches, and so those are available. You can purchase a bench and have your loved one's name or your name, your business name. It will be engraved there, and then you can sit underneath the tree. You can get a tree, bench, and a garden. And Mama Sue is actually she's a garden donor, so we got the Mama Sue garden out there, and so but it is truly a place for you to come and hang out there under the tree. You can just and invite others, but just really building that community relationship and owning that, because this is not just about the Mayberry. We're more than a funeral home. So we want you to come out there on the weekends, hang out, barbecue, strip a grill, bring us plate, to truly be that. So that's my sense of that. And so that's what the fundraising is about, because of course these things are, the prices are up, and we're independently owned. So it's, not a corporation or anything like that. And so any contribution like that will be used exactly for what, to benefit, the community. And, this is not any profit on our end. This is truly to honor our community
Yeah.
and serve.
Another, we really want families and people who want to give. It's important to us that we shake your hand, that we love on you, that we hug you as you give. So we really haven't put a lot of information on any kind of social media, because we want you to feel free to stop by and make that donation face to face with us, shake our hands. We want to love on you, appreciate you. So if you ever just want to stop by, we're here most of the day, every day, getting things in order. So always feel free to stop by and make those contributions. For those who are watching who are not here locally, we definitely have a Cash App that we can share later on. And we also have a telephone number that you can call, and our administrators make sure that we get that taken care of over the phone for you. So.
Well, that's a great way to segue into how you can follow these brothers, Edward and Ben, the Mayberry Brothers, at Mayberry Funeral Home, 406 East Illinois, Midland, Texas, 79701. That phone number is 432-218-8890. And listen, everything that you give and everything that you contribute will be so welcome, and it's so valuable and so important, because you just mentioned briefly a moment ago, Ben, that you all are independently operating this
Yes.
business, because a lot of people don't know that the funeral home business is kind of run as a big monopoly, kind of big, they own everything. There's a
Yes,
big
ma'am.
franchise that owns
Yes.
grave markers and cemeteries and
Absolutely.
casket companies and the
Yeah.
whole nine, and funeral homes. So for you guys to be in the game and doing what you do to support the community, you're doing it on your own. You guys are independent. So
So
we really want to support them and make sure that they are a success. If they fail, y'all, we fail, because they are here serving us. Tell us about what one of the biggest challenges has been in just getting things going for your business.
Well, I'll share one, and I'm sure you're gonna have more. But the biggest thing is this building, like you said, was a courthouse. So nothing in this building spoke to funeral business, right? It's total different industry, total different business, and so literally we had to come in and really renovate this thing, and it's taken a lot of time, a lot of money. I joke with people, Ben and I during this process. He mentioned it. He goes big first, and my philosophy was kind of go small and build up to it. But he so he really made this place big and grand. so the biggest challenge was, I mean, we really needed to renovate this place. We also needed to look at what staffing would look like, and maybe the funeral assistants, and what their role will be, get them some kind of training so that when we do get that staff, we'll have to open, we have some people who at least know a little bit about how to help and assist with a funeral. And so the challenge was just getting this place ready and the funds and the money that went towards that, and then just bringing in the right people to do those trainings, and get them to a place that we need them so we could open up to day one. That was a big cost, a big challenge. But those who came, you see what the final product was, and so we're grateful. It was a struggle, but we managed to make it happen. So that was a big struggle for early on. I'm sure it's the same.
Definitely, yes, definitely. Because I don't speak construction, and we had an architect that
You
came
don't
in
speak
first.
construction.
He just speaks spending, man. He just spend.
Spend, Ben the spender. Ben spend.
Yeah, that's him.
So yeah, so they
Well,
but I learned a lot.
you mentioned how Ben wanted a baby grand piano in there, and I mean, it's top-notch facilities. It's absolutely beautiful. It really is. And those of us who were there, it was almost like being at a church service. We were there for the soft launch and the ribbon cutting, but my goodness, when the choir began to sing in the chapel, uh, and the praises of God were in the room, you felt something.
Yeah.
You felt something.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
It was amazing, and so it was wonderful. And then talk about your staff. You've been recruiting staff in the area to work at the funeral home, and for those of you who may be looking for employment, what are the qualities you're looking for specifically when you're hiring people to work in the funeral home business?
Um, Nothing's beneath you. You get handed a broom first. If sweeping is too good for you, you're at the wrong place. So, and being able to be very versatile, you may say, okay, I just want to hand out programs, but you'll end up changing trash or cleaning the restroom, so whatever it is. So being versatile, whatever it takes to serve the families, the loved ones, and, of course, within reason, but whatever, nothing is beneath us. And if there's any way that we can serve our families, and if it's going that second mile, it's, maybe the service is lasting a little longer than expected, but accommodating, and but also making sure that this loved one is celebrated. And I'm sorry, I think I went off topic with the question, but
Yeah, kind of the staff that we
Of the staff.
the staff that we had. The staff that we have now, that we brought on now, is mainly funeral assistants who would help help the funeral director be able to provide services at the funeral, and during moments where families are coming in. I know the one area that we're still looking to hire is a funeral director. Once we kind of get to that place, another funeral director, it's kind of help Ben with do those duties. What else are we?
we have. Well, I know. I've got to say,
Jackie posted, she said, I'm still trying to get a part-time job with the business.
that's the comment I just saw, but I'm trying to avoid the comments right now. But so Shalene knows where we stand with that. We're fully staffed. I couldn't, but she, she's like, I don't. She has a lot of different, I guess, do nots, cannot, will not. So we cannot move forward with that first at this time. But keep us in
Keep
prayer.
hope alive. Keep hope
Yes.
alive, Jackie.
Yes.
Keep hope alive.
But yes, but with our staff concerning that, we have been fortunate and really blessed to be able to start developing this staff. A lot of them, none of them come from other local funeral homes here. We did not want that. We wanted fresh people to the industry and to understand, because they become trainable and teachable, and just never lose that sense of awe of serving, and even through the long nights. And it's been, I will say, that is challenging to train someone in this, but having the heart of servanthood, that's what it takes. And you know that being able to, and they're all, a lot of them are young. And so that's what I truly love, because you see a lot of, the older ones who are working, serving in the funeral home. But I think ours is each one reach one. And so, I've got one of my boys, here serving and everything like that with me. I want to pass the mantle, because it's going to be passed one day. And so teaching them and training them up. And I think that's what's more than a funeral home, because this is not just showing you how to do a funeral. This is how to serve, how to, and be there. And so, and to
Well, it's
do the mission.
remarkable. It's
We have family
remarkable
members.
what you guys have done. It is remarkable. And let me tell you, let me just read a few of the comments that have come out. Lois Hillary said, so proud
Oh, thank
for
you.
and of you guys. Our Midland community is on the move, and this is a great start toward getting us to where God wants us as a people to be. We have congratulations from Sandra Gistar. Julio said it was awesome. Felicia said she would have loved to be there. Felicia Hill, that's my cousin. She lives in the Houston area. It was absolutely beautiful. Uh, Gerard Taylor said that he's proud of you guys. And I mean, there are so many people on here. I'm not going to do shout outs today because I don't want to miss anybody. But let me tell you, the chat is lit. And when we go back and watch it and look at all of the commentary, I hope that you guys will feel the love and the
Yes.
support that Midland has for you. We really love you, and we are really pulling for you, and we're going to be behind you to support you all the way in every way that we can. Now, what I want you guys to do is tell us a little bit about the things that you you really need for the funeral home. Did I go away?
No,
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 you're good.
Okay, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you guys are still needing and how people can help you.
just give us money. We'll take care of the rest. We'll get it all worked out. That's it. That settles it. That's my answer.
uh, let's see.
Money does answer all
Oh,
things.
that's what the
Money
word
answers
says.
all
That's what the
things.
word says. And,
That's
You know,
true.
I think at this time we're just waiting on the funeral commission to come in and do what they do, and after that, it's really just you know allowing us the opportunity to serve families when that time comes, to keep us on in your mind. To also, one of the biggest things we always try to stress is our doors have been open since the ribbon cutting Monday through Friday. Staff is always here. As far as coming to visit, coming to take a tour and just look at the facility. We're not doing business yet, but the doors are open for you just to come and just look around. So that's a big thing for us. Is we just want people who couldn't make it out. That's a good way to support us. Just come and take a tour, just look around. But also when that time comes and you are needing service for a family member, we definitely want you to keep us in mind and allow us the opportunity to serve your family. So that's a it's kind of a long term need, but that's kind of what we need at this point in the future.
yes, absolutely. And then from there, coming and taking a tour, if there's something, I know a lot of people who may have a vision, okay, we'll put something on this wall that, we're donated some pictures for the wall. And so it's that. And I love it because it's from the community. It's not a, oh, well, Ben put this up here or Pastor Ed put this up here. It's, hey, the community, they threw that splash in there. And so, I wanted a painted wall and a mural from everybody painting names of loved ones on there. So then again, I get humbled and right down. So don't ask me what we need because so but those are some of the things, and the contributions do help towards that and to get the gardens going and the benches. And so that's, that's definitely, something that could be immediate, I guess, needs that can be fulfilled. And yeah, and again, like you said, if you have any ways or more, I'll let them go with you and maybe just contact me because Pastor Ed is just like, oh, just pray and they'll take care. I'm well.
Well, Janet is saying that she definitely wants to support, and she asked how she could give from Atlanta. And for you, Janet, and for others who are wanting to know how to contact the brothers, I'll put that screen up again, which gives us um, their contact information. You'll see there that the address is 406 East Illinois, and that phone number to call is 432-218-8890, and someone will answer, some of the staff will answer and give you directions and instructions about how you can share either via Cash App or check or Zelle or however they have it set up. They have a business manager, all of that good stuff. So if you call them, they will let you know how to get in touch with them. And then Robin Hocker Fuller has said that they'll donate a piece of art from James and Robin. They have beautiful art, just like what you can see on the wall to the rear of me, the beautiful pictures. So I am proud of that, and we're just excited about what you guys are doing. Before we get off, I want to talk a little bit about what it means to you all to be community leaders, because Pastor Ed, you have been doing this for a little while because you're the pastor of CWC, and I want you to plug your church and talk about your ministry and some of the things that you're doing in the community. But it's more than that. As a young African American male, being a role model in our community, how do you see all of this fitting in? You being an entrepreneur and a role model for our community. I will start with Pastor Ed, and then Ben, I want to talk to you about what that means to you to give back to your community by being a role model and an example for young Black citizens and others, but especially our young African American men.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, Dr. King said this, and I never forget it. He wrote in the book, he said, it's not normal for the African American to remain silent, but because we were chained physically, it forced us to become silent verbally. And so that's one of the things that I'm trying to work against is we're free now. And because we're free physically, we also have to be free in our minds and our speech and just free to not remain silent. And so that's been the biggest thing for me is that I want to serve our community. I want to be that voice that will bring that change and to serve other people. Our mission of our church has always been clear, and that is to reach our community with the love of God, to serve our community with whatever we need. We're going to give them food, but we also give them Jesus, right? We want to give them education. We want them to be smart, but we also want them to love Jesus. And so that's just been our mission. Whatever we can do to do that, we just become creative. That's all we do. We just become creative, and find ways to really serve our community that will bring them to the place where they no longer see us. And they say, man, that had to be the Lord's doing. That had to be the Lord's intervention. This had to be bigger than CWC Church. This was a God intervention. And so that's our big thing. And I've been fortunate enough to kind of put that culture in our church where I'm the first to be out there serving with our church, the first to be at the table brainstorming this. And because of that, we've kind of developed that culture in our church where it's serving others before ourselves. How can we love on somebody who may have never felt that love before? How can we get out of our church walls to go and serve somebody else who just need us? Need somebody to hug them and say, man, I'm pulling for you. How do we help that young man who can't get a job? How can I go to bat for him? How can I create those partnerships to be able to say, you know what, I can't do it in-house, but I got good friends who own businesses or who have the resources that they need. And so we're kind of that tunnel, man, that bridge those people who are hurting with some kind of resource. But our ultimate goal, man, is to make Jesus known, to lift him up, and he does the rest. And it's fun for us. Our church love it, and it's something that definitely God breathed, and we just enjoy the ride. And we're grateful that he allowed us to kind of be that vessel that he used to serve other people.
And tell them about where your church is, how they can connect with you.
Absolutely.
See if they want to see you.
Yeah, so we planted our church 9 years ago, and we currently have our services at the Martin Luther King Community Center, 3200 Butternut Lane. We start at 10 o'clock on Sundays. We also have a Facebook page, Community Worship Center, on Facebook, and we are at the community center now. We have big plans to build a facility on East Cuthbert Street, and we hope to be breaking ground on that sometime soon. But for now, you can always come to the community center, the MLK Center. That's where we are at 10 o'clock, or you can always tune in online on Facebook Live, Community Worship Center page.
And Ben,
Yes,
your community involvement?
yes. And so my community involvement, and that's very good, Pastor Mayberry. And this guy here, he is one of my role models indeed. And so I truly, truly believe that God has called him for such a time as this, and he preaches what he practices. And so that's what makes it so easy to follow after him. And so our goals have been, I mean, since childhood and experiencing pain, how do we deal with young people who lose their fathers and have so much hurt or bitterness, things like that? And we've been blessed to be able to go, to opportunity camp, the Gravitt family, the Lillian Porter, godmother, and just people who really poured into us, Ewing's, Uncle G's and all of that, and really building that community. And okay, each one for each one, if they did it and they poured into us, and we have all of that in us, then surely we can't keep it to ourselves. And so I think a lot of it just comes by having the heart of, man, like I've gone through this, and even if I haven't, let me walk with you through it. And someone who, for those who are in the Christian faith, we believe that he has walked before us and he is walking with us now. So we don't walk with fear, and we walk with boldness. And of course, that's mine with having each men in my life and who I've called my sons and everything. That's very important to me, and I don't take that lightly. But just so that they see the heart of servanthood, that they see the heart and light of that we want to bring to such a world that can be so dark. And so I think with that, it just I mean, I don't really see myself being a role model or anything. I just try to do what I can and do my best to do that and know him and make him known and be a light. And if I'm doing that, I think I'm doing all right. So it's been an amazing journey.
Well, tonight has been phenomenal. We've had a great online presence. So many have tuned in, and when you guys get a chance to go back and watch this, you'll see all of the comments and all of the love that has been poured out. But listen, we have one last question that I want Ben to share, because Lois asked, she said, Ben, give us a word about your experience in the funeral business prior to having your own funeral home, because that's important. You have worked in this business.
Yes. So Miss Hillary, you throw me off my script. My ADHD only allows so much. Okay. No, so keep the question up there so I don't lose it. No, but as far as the prior experience, I have been able to privileged to serve in other funeral homes locally and in Dallas as well, and just seeing so many different types of services, different culture. I'm a very cultural person, so I love different cultures. I love to see Buddhist services, Muslim services, just all different types of service in that every nationality, creed. I love all of that, and I've always just, anytime I've worked or served at one, I've always just put myself in the role of, when the Lord allows this door to open, I want to make sure that this community feels at home, at peace, not awkward, or will they serve us, or will they serve us less if we don't serve the same God, or if we don't believe the same way that they do. And I think seeing a lot of, I guess from our end of it, how they have been treated or felt, I just want to make sure that we did not do that. And so really learning a lot of that from the mistakes that I've made, I'm learning from it, saying, okay, I want to make sure that we definitely, it's a we factor, that we learn from what we've seen, and how do we take that and how do we incorporate that, because that's what it's about. And if it boils down to, hey, having the heart to say, that's what we're here for, wholeheartedly. We walk through it with you. Then you better put your bottom dollar on that, and then quality and everything must go with it. And so that's really like my experience and learning from some of the greatest people in the funeral industry. It's amazing. And so, and I'm truly grateful for each and every last one of them, for the ones who have followed me, the ones who, all the people in between. But I definitely am grateful for the experience that I've had to serve in other funeral homes.
Miss Hillary said, sorry, but she loves to hear you talk, and she's
Oh,
watched you over the years in your endeavors. She said you do it well, and you really, really do. Listen, it has been my pleasure to have the Mayberry Brothers on tonight with Moments with Mama Sue. I am so proud of their efforts. I'm proud of what they are doing in our community and what this means for West Texas and for us as a people of color to be able to have this facility, which is top notch in our community, to serve the entire Midland community. So we are going to continue to follow their progress and to support them with our dollars, our prayers, our words of encouragement, and all of our love as they move forward. Because as I said earlier, if they fail, we all fail. So we're looking for them to be successful. We are looking for them to be great in our community. For those of you who have joined tonight, I hope that you've enjoyed the broadcast and that you will be a regular with Moments with Mama Sue. And if you like what we are offering on this platform, then I invite you to be a part of Mama Sue's family. Come back often and regular. You can support what I'm doing by Cash App at $Sue Roseberry. That's $Sue Roseberry. And any amount at all is very welcome, and I use it to put back into the platform. You see me messing with my in-ear devices because I've learned how to hook up ring lights and microphones and little cameras and try to give you the very best experience that I can. So I'd love to have you contribute. And if Cash App is not your thing and you say, I don't do Cash App, well, maybe Venmo is your thing, and that's available too. You can do Venmo at Sue-Roseberry-1. Sue-Roseberry-1. And for those of you that don't do either one of those things, you say, I just write checks. Well, listen, I'm glad to receive those as well by snail mail. You can write a check and send it to P.O. Box 51422, Midland, Texas 79710. I again want to thank the Mayberry Brothers for joining us tonight. Guys, do you all have anything that you want to say before we close? And then we'll give our parting announcement.
No, I'll go first, and then, but thank you again, Mama Sue, for having us on. Thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Listen, we really mean we love you guys when we say that. And we love you so much that we have our doors open just to meet you and to love on you and to hug you. And so anytime, if I'm not here, Ben's here, or somebody's always here for you to come and take a tour. But we love you guys. And thank you for all the support. And again, if you want to continue to support, definitely reach out. And we appreciate every dollar you guys give.
Absolutely. In addition to that, I mean, you said it, and we've been truly grateful. And again, thank you for the ribbon cutting. We're trying to thank everyone, and it's truly, I mean, it blew our minds what a time we had, and that's what we would like for our services, our homegoing, to be like, because that's what it would be like. And so, either way, we have just truly enjoyed being a part of that, and of course, keeping our part of our mission statement. Of course, our strategy is simple because our service is intentional. So again, thank you for having us. We're honored.
That is so good. I'm so proud of you guys. Hang out with me here in the studio as I close. And let me tell the people, you all can support what we're doing. Go to our Facebook pages and like and share the content that we post there. And I especially want to invite you all to go over to my YouTube channel, Sue Roseberry. I have a new video out there for He's a Great God, and it is gaining traction. I think the last time I checked, it had 1,500 views. Wow, 1,500, but we can do better. So go and watch it. Watch it a couple of times a day. Watch it, so that those numbers will go up, and that will help me eventually get to where I am able to monetize my channel. But I appreciate everything that you are doing. I want you all to continue to roll with me. Moments with Mama Sue will be back on the third Monday of this month, and we'll have another exciting guest for you to come and meet. And in the meantime, you all enjoy the remainder of your Labor Day holiday and know that I love you. Woo! Now that's what I call a great show. Woo! We out of here. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Now we can do it a little better than that. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Well, all right, come on with it. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Wait. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Moments with Mama Sue. Never know what to expect. Hey! Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Ow! Moments with Mama Sue. Ow! Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Moments with Mama Sue. Can't you? Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Oh. Well, now we might be done a little bit too much.